Today, we are diving into a really fascinating report. It uncovers what it calls an agricultural gold mine, right in northern Uganda's Lamwo District. So, we're going to break down exactly what this opportunity is, which crops are the real winners, and maybe most importantly, the strategy to unlock it all.
The entire report really hinges on this one powerful idea. It's not just hinting at potential, it's calling farming in this specific region a hidden treasure. That's a pretty bold claim, right? It frames the whole thing as something that's just waiting to be discovered, something incredibly valuable.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What exactly did this research uncover that makes them use a word like gold mine? What is it that turns simple farming into a treasure hunt? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so the first clue to this treasure, it's not actually in the soil. It's in the unique market conditions of the area. And this is where the story starts to get really, really interesting.
It all boils down to two major factors. First, you've got this huge built-in customer base with the refugee settlements, which means there's a constant, massive demand for fresh food. And second, there's a massive strategic advantage. See, most of the produce right now is being trucked in from cities that are super far away, and that's both slow and really expensive.
And right here, this is the heart of the opportunity. Local farmers in Lamwo can just completely slash those transport costs. They can deliver fresher food, which means they can get much higher profit margins. The competition that's trucking stuff in from way out in Gulu or Kampala, well, they just can't compete on price or on freshness. The bottom line? The market is right there, and it is seriously underserved.
All right, so we get the why. There's a hungry market, there's a huge logistical advantage. So what's next? That leads to the most practical question of all. What do you actually grow to make the most of this? Luckily, the report gets very specific.
The research team didn't just stop there. They actually identified 3 specific golden crops that are just perfectly positioned for success in this market. Let's break them down one by one. First up, we have tomatoes. The report gives them a great nickname, the Market Queen. And why? Well, because they are without a doubt the single most in-demand crop in the entire region. Everybody wants them. And the numbers for tomatoes look really good. It's a quick 3-month cycle, and a single crate can sell for up to 250,000 Ugandan shillings. But the report also gives this crucial piece of local advice. Because a lot of the terrain in Lamwo is sloped, you have to stake the tomatoes to keep them off the ground and prevent rot. It's that kind of practical, on-the-ground tip that makes this research so valuable. Next on the list are onions, and they're nicknamed red gold. Now, their biggest advantage isn't just the demand, it's their resilience. These things have an amazing shelf life.
This makes onions a brilliant strategic move for a farmer. If market prices are low one week, you can just store them and wait for a better price. That's a luxury you just don't get with other vegetables. And with a single bag selling for up to 350,000 shillings, that flexibility is, well, it's pure gold.
And finally, number 3 is cabbage, the reliable performer. This one is all about being easy and selling a ton. The report points out that it's super easy to grow in Lamwo and faces what they call unlimited demand.
So, the big appeal here is low stress, high volume. It's got one of the fastest growing cycles, the seed cost is pretty low at about 100,000 shillings for a whole acre, and it takes less work to harvest. So if you're a farmer looking for a dependable, foundational crop, cabbage is a fantastic choice. So, we've got the market, and we've got the crops. Now it's time for the most important part of all, right? The bottom line. Let's actually look at the numbers.
This is it. This is the ultimate question for any farmer, for any investor. We've seen the advantages of each one, but when it comes down to pure, hard profit, which one really comes out on top?
Okay, these numbers really do tell the whole story. Cabbage has the lowest costs to get started and gives you a really solid return. Tomatoes, they require a bit more investment, but they offer a much higher profit. But then, look at onions. Even though they have the highest input cost, they also have the highest potential net profit by a long shot, reaching up to 9 million shillings per acre. That's almost $2,500 US.
Looking at it this way, you can just see the clear steps up in profitability. Cabbage is your reliable base. Tomatoes are your high-value staple. But onions are the undisputed winner for maximum profit potential. Red gold really lives up to its name.
But wait, the report doesn't just stop at telling you what to plant. It actually gives you a strategic playbook for how to maximize your success and, I'm not kidding, literally multiply your profits.
The report lays out 3 key strategies.
First, use terracing to turn that sloped land from a challenge into an advantage. Second, diversify your crops so you're not vulnerable to price changes in just one. But that third point, that's the real game changer.
This is the absolute core of the entire strategy. The report identifies managing your water not just as a nice thing to do, but as the single most powerful action a farmer there can possibly take. And here is the punchline. By using a simple water pump to irrigate during the dry season, a farmer can become the only person with produce when no one else can grow. And the report is crystal clear on this. This one move can triple your profits. It takes a successful farm and turns it into an incredibly profitable business.
So in the end, what we have here is a comprehensive map. It shows exactly where the treasure is, what the treasure is made of, and even gives you the secret to multiplying its value. The only question left is, who's going to be the first one to pick up a shovel and start digging?